Hello and welcome to another episode of our podcast, The Red Sofa.
The show where we talk about life and its problems and also answer your burning questions. I'm Henry.
And I'm Jessie. We're in a silly, goofy mood
We're
today.
in a very goofy mood.
Silly, goofy mood.
Silly, goofy mood. Story of the week.
Boop.
You're first.
So, guys, I went to... I'm
going to turn you down. You're so loud.
So, guys, well, we missed one because Henry's disorganised.
Yeah, okay.
And went out for lunch.
No. We decided that, we'd done 5 in a row, so we decided that, we could give ourselves a little week off.
That's definitely what happened.
It isn't. I genuinely completely forgot. I'd had a scheduled little lunch.
Do you know what? Do you know what made me laugh about that? You were texting our group chat and you were like, Bolly, I'm so sorry.
I felt awful.
I'm so sorry. But
awful.
I'm like, why do you feel so bad for Bolly? Why not me?
Oh, yeah, because I don't really care about you, Jessie.
So, Bolly, please forgive me.
No, but I think I'd been out the night before, so I was probably still a little bit
pissed.
You
were spaced.
Still a bit pissed.
But you were sending him all the love hearts and everything.
Sorry,
please forgive
Bolly,
me.
please don't hate
begging
me.
his forgiveness. And I was said to Bolly, why does he not care about me?
Because Bolly put in the group chat, he was like, oh yeah, like meeting, like, can someone come down and help me with the cameras? I was like, oh, when we're recording, and it was 2 minutes to 2, and you guys were like, now.
Yeah, we were literally there.
I was literally in my pants, so I was like, there's no chance.
I thought you said you went out for lunch.
Yeah, but I was
Did you go out for lunch in your pants?
I was literally about to leave for lunch.
Suspicious. The story's
I'm in trouble
changing. Da, da, da.
Anyway, shut up. Story of the week. This is episode 6, so here you go. No complaints. My mum was like, "What happened, Henry? You now doing it fortnightly?" And I was like, "No, mum, I just missed it.
I'm a silly boy."
I'm a silly boy. Right.
That really gave me
on.
the ick. Disgusting.
Right.
Disgusting.
Let's go.
So I went to Amsterdam over the weekend and now I'm back.
We had your birthday
England.
as well. We haven't done
Yeah.
that podcast.
Should we talk about my birthday?
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely feral, mate.
Yeah, you were feral.
I was so drunk. But I was fine. I had my 1 bottle of Posh Prosecco. That's how drunk I was. Posh Prosecco that someone bought me. I was on that. And then I let Ben
on that.
make me a drink.
Oh,
and it was like that much vodka. And then I got a taste for it. And that was it. Yeah. I had another one. Next thing you know, I'm on the floor.
You were absolutely feral.
I was moving so fast, though. There's a video of me crawling on the floor and I looked like a snake.
It was quite scary.
But yeah, it was really good. Everyone had a lovely time.
They did.
We had a dance off.
Time. It was great.
The only thing was the DJ.
Oh,
right.
We were
going to. Yeah,
we forgot. We were going to talk about this. This DJ was the biggest dickhead I've ever seen.
He was so rude.
He wouldn't. So he didn't play any of Jessie's music. So he played we got there and he was just playing standard shit radio
music. It was
music.
Weird. It was like.
And Jessie came over to me and was like, I don't know this song. And I was like, is it not your music? And so Jessie he'd asked for a playlist, right?
Yeah.
And he just didn't play any of it.
No, he did. He played some bits, but he played his rubbish introduction music.
Yeah. And
then played my bangers at the start of the night. Like he played Whitney at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, all that ABBA was really early on as well.
Yeah, and I just wasn't about that. And then I went up to him and he went.
Yeah, he was rude.
And I just thought,
are you
joking?
Was it your mum wanted to do a speech?
Yeah, she wanted to.
He wouldn't give her the microphone.
No, he was like, it's my microphone, I'll do it. But he kept saying, everybody say happy birthday to Jessie.
He didn't want to park his little Audi.
No, he wanted to drive over our garden.
Yeah, he didn't want to have to park and walk with his equipment.
So
to
obviously,
be fair, the weather was shit.
He was upset because he didn't know that it was 70s themed. So he was upset, obviously.
Grow up, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really good. We all got absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, it was the worst night's sleep of my life in that cold tent. It was horrible.
I had a great night's sleep in my warm, toasty bed. Yeah, whatever. It was fab.
Whatever, mate. So you went to Amsterdam?
Yeah, baby.
Spent £90 on a Chinese, £40 on airport Mackies.
God.
Airport Mackies for 40 quid.
And it wasn't even that expensive because me and Ben, when we first got together, used to go to McDonald's all the time. And he'd be like, can I have a quarter pounder, no pickles, no onions? Can I have a cheeseburger? Can I have 20 chicken nuggets? Can I have this? And it would never be that much money.
No, of course not.
Never. But I had like a crappy chicken burger and chips and he had a...
Is that what it's called? The McCrappy?
Yeah, the McCrappy. And then he had a burger and chips and then we had some nuggets. And these nuggets, Henry, they were funky.
Funky nugs.
They tasted kind of like potatoes.
McFunky McNugs.
McFunky McCrappy
Potato
McNugs.
Ugh.
But do you know like
40,
potato waffles?
I still can't believe £40.
Honestly, I looked at it.
My hat keeps hitting the mic.
I could see it. added up on the screen and thought, this is absolute extortion.
How much do you think you spent over the weekend?
I know how much we spent, and it's just way too much money. But every time Ben, so he has a travel card, so he was paying for stuff for the travel card, and I was transferring him money.
Yeah.
But I'd say to him, oh, how much did that cost? Let's add it up. And every time he told me, he'd be knocking off €10.
Oh, what,
so there was an extra, like, €100 at the end that I hadn't accounted for.
Well, it was your birthday.
But
so.
we spent, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Not what I expected to spend, but you don't expect to spend £40 on McDonald's.
That's ridiculous.
So, great time. Will not be visiting again unless I become a millionaire.
And you didn't even smoke the bunga. So.
No. But we had a really nice time.
It
exploring
fun.
things.
And guys, if you haven't seen Jessie's TikTok,
people. Watch my vlogs.
Get on her vlogs. They're actually really funny.
And food reviews coming soon too.
I don't like to give Jessie credit for anything, but they were quite funny.
One of them I just could not stop laughing.
I was sat having a poo and I was sat laughing at one of them. It was brilliant.
Yay, I'm glad.
I went out on Sunday night.
Right,
last
talk about
minute.
It.
We were gonna. Me and Georgia were like, we got back. We were like, oh, should we go gym? Like we'd been at mine. We walked back to hers, and we were like, we put our gym clothes on. We were ready. Last minute, we were like it was the weather was really nice. So we'd been for a picnic in the day. And I sunburnt my arms and everything, lovely. But it was really nice. And then we were like, oh, but it's such nice weather. Let's make the most of it. So we ended up going Trebles for a couple drinks. Nice. And then we just were like, we ain't been out on a Sunday in ages. Not that I can remember. So we were like, let's go out. So then obviously rounded up some of the boys. Tom had already been out, like pre-drinking and stuff. So he was like, I'll come out. We managed to convince Alex to come out as well. So instead of going to the library, he came out. Lovely. And then probably the funniest thing that I've ever experienced on the night happened. So basically, there was this guy in Trebles. Like he looked like he was about 40, 50, and he was like just like bobbing on his own, like dancing, like kind of thumbs up to like random people. It looked really awkward. And then we caught eyes with him, and then Tom like kind of waved him over. He was like, "Come over, come join us." And this guy so he was 31, and he had the squeakiest, like the most high pitched voice I've ever heard. He was like, "Hello, hi guys," and so we were like, "Oh, come here." So we were just chatting to him, and he was like, he loved the fist bump. He was like fist bumping us at every comment any of us made. It was like, "Yes, spud it," and so. We then were like, oh, like how come you're out on your own? He was like, he was from somewhere else, and he'd come with his friend, and she'd like basically bottled the night out and gone back to the hotel. So we were like, oh, go on, you come club with us, whatever. And so he was a gay guy, so he wanted to go see it, and he kept like saying, you guys don't mind that I'm gay? And we were like, obviously not. Like I'm from Brighton, like come on now. Obviously we don't care. And then so it was like, yeah, sound. So he was with us, and we were like, okay, yeah, like obviously we're not going to spend the whole night with this guy, like we don't know him. Anyway, we get to the bottom bar in home, and we were doing like rock paper scissors for who bought a round. Right. I mean, we all had the intention that he'd pay for the round. Like, I mean, he's an adult, he's got more money, and it's a Sunday, so it's quite spenny.
We're innocent little children.
Yeah,
buy us drinks.
So the round came to about 40 quid.
Oh wow!
And his card declined.
Oh no!
He had a Nokia.
He was
paying with his card, and his card kept declining. And then he just like the guy behind the bar, like he was just like, oh, has it gone through? And he just went, yeah, it's fine. And then so we just took our drinks and like we went and sat in a booth, and he came and sat with us. Karma is an absolute bitch because as I put my drink on the table, I then with my other hand, like pulled my other hand down, and my phone got caught in the drink, and it just spilt all over me. So I had to go and buy my own drink anyway. But we were like just sat having our drink, and then like it was fine, like it was good vibes. The guy's nice enough. We were just chatting with him. And then, like, he's completely harmless. And there's a picture, actually, we got, and it's so funny, because he looks like he could be Alex's dad.
Really?
It's so funny. But anyway, so I don't know if you've been to home on a Sunday. They have the candles out on each table.
No.
I don't know why. But there was a candle. So I blew it out, because I was like, this is going to go wrong. This guy just shoves the candle holder. Bear in mind, it's like a glass cup, just fucking shoves it, launches it literally across the floor. And then Georgia looked at me and she was like, we need to lose this guy. Like,
this has gone too far.
This guy's crazy. So he planned an escape, and we were all messaging on our phones, like on the sly. And we were like, okay, we'll meet at like the top bar, like on the balcony above the main floor. Because like, he's not from here. There's no way he knows the club and knows what's around. So anyway, Georgia and Tom dip. They're like, okay, we need to go toilet. So they go. And then me and Alex are like, oh, we need to go toilet. So then I go down to the toilet. I'm in the cubicle. I come out and he's like stood there having a wee. So I've like run past him, sprinted up the stairs to the balcony, met Georgia there. Then Tom's come. We're like, where's Alex? Where is this guy?
Oh no.
Turned out that Alex had come out of the toilet, and the guy was just stood at the top of the stairs waiting for him. So Alex was stuck on his wands with this guy, and he ended up paying for a drink for him.
You're joking.
So he spent like 15 quid on a round, and like bought this guy a drink, and then came up, found us, and we didn't see him. But then we had gone smokers, gone to go back onto the main floor, and this guy was just there, and Georgia had gone in first, like round the corner. She'd seen him, and I've never seen her run so quick. She was like, he was like mid turning around, so he almost caught us. But it was so funny, just like running away.
He obviously took a special bond to Alex because they look related. Maybe that was his whole master plan. Maybe it's his older brother.
But he just kept asking us to go to scene. It's like, can we go scene? Can we go scene? I was like, we don't go scene until
He
after.
thought that you were his friends and you've abandoned him.
But we didn't feel bad.
You've used him for his drinks and left
but
him.
the thing is, we said that. But, you know, if the payment had gone through, I would have felt bad. But his card declined, so
the
he didn't
candle
pay.
holder across the table was
we were
the
like,
final
this
straw.
guy is rabid. We need
He's
to get away.
absolutely lost it.
So anyway, that's what's like kind of I don't know, inspired the main topic of today's episode, guys, is hectic night out stories. So I'm going to ask Jessie her. You know, I'm putting her on the spot.
Few.
So yeah, we've got time. We can have a little chat. So I've got one more really funny one. But yeah, so if you give me however many you want, let's hear them.
So one of the worst ones, and my friends remind me of this a lot of the time, is I used to have this thing where I'd lose my keys, and now my keys have got several key rings on because I've lost them so much. I lost them when I went running and ran the route 4 times because I just could not find them. So I went out with Molly, my friend, and at the time Zach as well.
Yeah, and, big up Zach.
We went to this club, and then I met like all my other uni friends there, like Lucy and Lily and Zoe and all that lot. Met them. There was a big group of us. We're all having a nice time, and then I go to the toilet, and girls go in the toilets together. That's what we do.
Always.
We have a little gossip, and then I'm having a wee, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot find my keys. Where are my keys? Panicking, like patting down all my pockets, and I'd had a lot to drink at this point, and I get kind of emotional when I was drunk, and I'm sat in this toilet, and I just go, Lucy, I've lost them. What do I do? And then. It was like 1:30, and I come back, and my friend describes it to me as he saw me, and I came up to them, and I was like, guys, have you seen my keys? And he said no, and then he didn't see me for half an hour, and he just said, you were walking around like this.
You just look absolutely gutted.
And I waited until the whole club was empty, because I knew one of the bouncers, because he used to be my manager at work. Waited until the whole club was empty, was crawling on my hands and knees trying to find my keys, trying to find everything, walking around.
That's a video I want to see.
Crying my eyes out, going, where are they? I've lost them. And Molly was like, you can stay at mine. I was like, I don't want to stay at yours. I want to go home. And then I'm walking home because I was like, I don't know what to do. I rang my dad, and it was 3:00 in the morning, left a voicemail, because he had a spare set, but obviously they live an hour away, and it was 3:00 in the morning. I left him a voicemail. I was like, Dad, I don't know if you're going to hear this, but I've really had a traumatic night, and I just can't find my keys anywhere. So I'm walking back along the high street. I'm looking back and forth for my keys, literally like this across the floor, and then I see something glint outside Greg's, and I just go, ah! Went up to it, and it was my keys.
You found them?
I found them outside Greg's.
How? You must have lost them on the way to the club.
I must have done, but how lucky is that? And then I got them and I've got a photo of me that I put on my private story, and all my eyes are puffy, and I've got like all my makeup smashed. I'm like, guys, I've got them. I found them, guys. But now all my friends make sure, have you got your keys?
Yeah.
Is it zipped up? Because I can't even
Alex
get in my
always
building.
forgets his ID. I swear to God. We went out in Knots for We just went because Tim's older brother used to go uni in Knots. He was in his last year, so we were like, oh, whilst there's a house that we can stay at in Knots, we may as well make the most of it. So we've gone out in Knots with like Tim, his older brother, all his mates, and so he lived probably about 40 minutes from. We went to Rock City, obviously. And he lives about 45 minutes, because obviously you kind of walk a bit, then get a tram.
Yeah.
And we literally, Alex had noticed when we got on the tram 10 minutes out, 10 minutes from the house, that he didn't have his keys. But he didn't think to say anything until we were getting off the tram at Rock City. I have no idea why. He does this all the time. It's similar with you with your keys. It's like every time we leave the house now, it's like, Alex, have you got your ID? So we got all the way to town, and we're basically outside Rock City, and he's just like, I ain't got my keys. And I was like, when did you realise this? He was like, when we got on the tram, and I was like, why the fuck did you not say anything then? Like, what is wrong with you? But he was like, oh, no, it's fine. So then one of Tim's brother's mates that we've just met was like, it's fine, I'll go back to the house with him. So they, which was really nice of him. They ended up turning up, obviously, at Roxy probably an hour after we got there. But it was just so, like, and now every single night out, have you got your ID, Alex? Are you sure?
Are you
Have
sure?
You double
Have
checked?
you triple checked?
Do you want me to look after it for you?
But yeah,
every time.
Awful. I've also got this thing. I have a tendency to try and wheedle my way into getting free drinks.
Okay, yeah.
And I've firmed my targets. I know who my targets are. You can tell.
Yeah.
There's a certain type of person when you go clubbing and you just know
Just do a little lean
you're
on the
my
bar.
victim. And I went to Bongo's Bingo before
Oh my
Christmas, and me and my friend Maddie, not to toot my own trumpet, but when we're together, it's like everybody just, like, loves us.
Yeah.
Like, we went to London, and people always say people in London are rude and stuff like that. And we were, well, that's what they say from near me. I get told that people are rude from London.
got a
But
side
we
eye
went,
from
and
producer.
all these people were like, can I help you with anything? Are you okay? Just random people. So we went to Bongo's Bingo in Nottingham just before Christmas. And all these people, have you been to Bongo's Bingo before?
No, but is it not just like a load of middle-aged people?
It's just mental though. Everyone's
Apparently
so
it's
drunk.
a right laugh.
It is, but they had dancers that turned into like strippers, and these guys had just like a little foam thing in front of their bits and were dancing around. It was just absolutely crazy. So we saw these people, and they were obviously on some sort of stag or something. And it was this guy with his cousin, and then his uncle as well. And then they were old. They were old. And Maddie was talking to them, and we were just chatting or whatever. And then he was like, oh, the uncle, who was like 60, was like, oh, get us all around the Jaeger bombs, blah, 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 blah. Me and Maddie were like, yeah, okay. And then he bought them, turned around to talk to his nephew and his son, and we just picked them all up and went off. But I don't feel bad because we're only babies, and they were flirting with us.
I've done this before. It's like you go like, I can't remember. It happened the other week. We were all in the pub or something, and this guy just was like offering rounds, and we were like, "Are you sure?" Like I think it might have been when I was clubbing in Brighton actually, and we were like, "Oh, were you sure?" Like we always didn't want to take the mick.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, of course." Bought us round, and we all obviously just disappeared. And then later in the night, he bought us another round.
That's so. I bet he woke up and
Some
was like,
people have
"Where
got
is all my money gone?"
got more money than sense.
Yeah,
though, do you know what
I just can't do that. I've bought someone a drink before. I woke up being like, "Oh,
I'm an idiot."
I am an idiot," even if it's like £3 on a
I
Jaeger bomb.
want your opinion on this, and people listening. So, if you spill someone's drink,
Yeah,
you buy them a new one.
that's what I think. Yeah.
I was in Trebs, like 2 weeks ago, and I given my treble to Georgia to look after. She put it on the table she was sat at, and I'd just gone for a wee. I'd only just got there. I come back and my whole drink is on the floor. I've not even had a sip. And like I was kind of there was one of Georgia's friends that knocked it over, and I was like kind of joking with her. I was like, "Oh, haha, so funny." But you're buying me a new one.
Getting me right now.
But she was like, "Oh yeah, of course." And I was like, "No, I'm being serious. Like you're buying me a new drink."
Yeah, that's
and I
like...
felt a bit like mean, but at the same time, like I'd literally just bought the thing. I hadn't had a sip, and she literally just swung it over.
It's different if you've like spilt a bit of it.
Exactly. Like
Well,
if
if
I've
you
got a
spilt
tiny
the
bit
whole
left, but it was
thing,
the whole
then
thing,
100%, yeah.
And then it was like, should I feel bad? And I was like, absolutely bloody not.
Yeah, 100%. That's like anything. That's like eating someone's meal.
That's like,
And
if I spilt someone's drink, I would always offer to buy them a new one.
And it's even worse if you spill
It
on
depends,
them.
because sometimes you do it deliberately. Like if there's like,
Yeah,
you know, if
just be like,
there's
"I
like
don't
people
like
like
you."
barging you, like when on the dance floor, you just bang their drink.
I've
out
got
their hand.
such a... I get so mad when people are like getting all up in my face and stuff. Do you know when you're dancing?
Yeah.
And in Freshers Week of first year, it was Halloween and we were in Loft at... Is that Marco? Is that home? Where's Loft?
Loft's in home.
Yeah. That shows how much I go out. And there was this guy, and he was massive. He was like 6'3", and he was jumping around, whatever, but really like in everyone's face. And he was knocking my friend. So I just said to her, "Oh, I'll switch with you," because she's tiny. Yeah. She's tiny, and I'm quite tall, so I was like, "It's fine." And you could see she was getting uncomfortable, so I switched with her. And then I like... Do you know when you do that thing where you move back a bit?
Like
and I sort of did that.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend tapped me on the shoulder and got in my face and was like screaming at me. And I just started like screaming at her back. And then Ben was like pulling me away and I was like, "Get off me!" And then I just looked at all my friends and was like, "I need to go on a walk." So I just took myself on a walk to calm down.
I don't know if I've told this story, but there was one time where I was at the bar and I saw a guy like lick his finger, put something in his pocket, and like swill this girl's drink with it.
That's
so obviously
awful.
he was trying to spike her, and I deliberately spilt her drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll get you a new one. Like, I explained what I was like. He's trying to spy. Obviously, he was like, oh, what you doing? What you doing?
Yeah.
I was like, mate, I've just seen what you're trying to do. He like dipped, and then she was like proper angry with me, and I was like, he just tried to spike you. You wouldn't have noticed. And she was all like, oh, like, you have no right. I don't need you to protect me. And I was like, all right, Jesus. So I didn't buy her any drink in the end because she was rude to me.
So you just spilled her drink?
Jesus. Yeah, I just like kind of deliberately kind of, oh, oops, slapped it out of her hand.
Bang.
But she was like really angry with me, and I was like, I've just stopped you from being spiked. Like, at least say, I'm not even saying say, don't be rude to me though.
Yeah, don't scream in my face.
Oh,
but yeah, people in clubs and people, do you know when they're drunk and just at festivals and stuff? I just can't deal with it because I think there's different types of drunk people. Like, you could be a mean drunk.
Yeah.
You could be like a sexy drunk.
Sexy
drunk. Or like a fun drunk. And I'm definitely like giggly fun.
Yeah.
Up for anything. But some people are just awful and nasty.
Yeah.
And that's when I think you need to just not drink.
One of my favourite things to do when we're out clubbing is like, if like a group of guys are talking to Georgia, I'll just kind of leave it for a minute. And then I'll go over and like grab her and kiss her or something, in front of them, and then their faces will just drop. It's so funny. Anyway, I've got one more.
Go on then.
I went out for one of my best friend Audrey's birthday. She's actually contributed one of her stories. Is one of the listener inputs. So went out for her birthday in London, I think in Peckham, and it was like it was basically just a bar crawl with her older brother and sister and then like a couple of our mates, and we so we had a hotel. So we got a taxi to Peckham, and we were like one of my friends, Natalie, had almost chunned in the taxi because we'd been preying at the hotel. Anyway, we were going from like bar to bar, kind of downing a pint and then a Jaeger, but we were downing everything.
No.
And I'm not normally sick when I drink. I'm normally just like, I normally just get a pretty rough hangover. And then so we'd kind of gone back to her sister's house or her sister's friend's house, like their uni house in Peckham. And we were all sat in the kitchen, and I was like, I'm going to chun. I could just feel, when you can just tell. Yeah. You know when like you in your mind, you don't even think I'm going to chun, you just start, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go out the front of the house. So I've like just like, they were like, are you good? Like, you look a bit rough. And I was like obviously the colour had drained from my face. So I got up and I walked, I like probably ran / stumbled to the front garden. And I chunned all over the front garden, like the whole wall. It was awful. And then I somehow managed to get in the taxi, hold it for 25 minutes, and then I stumbled out of the taxi and chunned all over the hotel stairs. And the next morning when we left, there was a little guy like scrubbing the floor. I felt so bad.
Chund is is that a southern thing?
I don't know. Do you not say that up here?
No.
Chund.
Chunded as well.
Chund.
I don't know any, I know a lot of people that say it, but no one from where I'm from.
Yeah.
Just say like throw up. Do you say throw up?
No, we just say chund.
Chunded. Chunded all over the grass.
I chunded all over the grass and lost my pouch of baccy.
Oh no!
No. Well, we've got 2 listener inputs that I've selected. We had quite a few actually, but I've selected the 2 which I think are funniest. So the first one.
No offense to everyone else. Yeah,
well, one of them was one of. I will say, Jake is one of my friends that I went to college with. He's Australian.
Oh right.
And I'll be honest, mate, I just couldn't understand the lingo that you were using. He said he'd been at like the Kygo or like the. So it was like some sort of word, but like it's clearly an Australian term, and I just didn't understand it. Basically, I think the essence of it, he'd lost his phone and keys or something, but he'd woken up after a night out just clutching his laptop, which I thought was really funny. But I'm sorry, Matt, I just couldn't understand what you were trying to say. So. It made me laugh, but I couldn't, obviously, I don't really understand exactly what the picture was. Anyway, so I've got one. So I sat down on a stranger's wall, like in front of their house, and I just fell backwards into the front garden and just slept there.
I wonder what the stranger thought when they just woke up.
That's quite funny.
Who's this?
Who is this person? And then I've got the one from Audrey, obviously. She's travelling at the moment. She's in Thailand, I think, or like somewhere in the Middle East. She's doing it with her boyfriend Alex, who is the tallest person I've ever met in my life.
Really?
He literally makes me look like a dwarf. I mean, I'm not tall, but I think he's like 6'6" or something. He's massive.
Huge.
But lovely guy. I hope you're okay, Alex, because this story is a bit rogue. So this is not last night, the night before. They were out in a place called Krabi. I hope it's not Krabby. That's a weird Krabby. And they came back to find 2 guys fighting in the street. My boyfriend, Alex, tried to break them up and had a chair thrown at his head, giving him a severe concussion and a gash on his scalp needing urgent stitches. I had no choice. I was drunk as anything, but we had to get him to the hospital
That's
ASAP.
so scary.
So jumped on the moped, got him on the back, and drove to the hospital. And he got the treatment he needed. I think he's okay for it.
Hopefully.
He looked like he was getting better. But as we drove through the scenery, it was like something out of Avatar. It was the prettiest landscape I have ever seen, and it was the prettiest sunrise I've ever seen.
I bet Alex didn't see it though.
Alex
is just dying at the laugh.
But yeah, that's a great little story, Audrey. Thank you for your contribution. And yeah, like we said, send our love to Alex. I hope he's okay.
Get well soon.
Get well soon. But yeah, there was I think the general malarkey. We didn't have any like wild stories. I mean, like, there's definitely some people that are holding back. I'm sure there's some out there. I'm sure there's people that have had, like, all sorts of stories. I'm not even going to go into it. But yeah, so we've, two decent stories. Obviously, there was a third. I think there was more, but I'd wrote the script quite late last night.
That laptop one reminded me of something I did when I was really, really young. We had like some people over to our house and we had this bottle of limoncello. Have you had limoncello before?
I've heard of it. I've never had it.
So it's really, really strong. And ever since, that's like the only thing that I'm like, I can't go near that again.
Yeah.
Because it just tastes like lemon sherbets.
Okay.
But it's like 50% or
Jesus
something daft.
Christ.
And I was young. I was younger than I should have been, but I was at home and that's fine.
Younger than I should have been.
And we had some family friends over and they were older than us, so I was just like having a drink, whatever. And then in the morning, I woke up and I've got like a sofa sort of thing. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's called a chaise longue. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, there's that song about chaise longue.
So I have one of those in my room, or I did at the time, and I also had like a little chair as well, and then my desk chair, and then a beanbag. And I woke up in the morning and I was asleep on the floor and all of my furniture was on my bed. And all I remember is going, oh, my bed's the best place. This is where everything needs to go.
You just put everything on top of your
bed. But in the morning, it was too heavy for me to pick up. So God knows what super strength I got when I was drunk. But I literally could not pick it up. I had to get my mum and dad to help me. It was so heavy.
That's so funny.
But I was just asleep on the floor. Yeah, I'm the Hulk, apparently.
That's actually so funny.
But yeah. You're like, that's so hilarious.
This can go here, and I'll go on the floor.
And I don't deserve the bed. This is where I belong.
That's amazing.
But yeah, scary.
Right. So yeah,
time for Henry's favourite bit.
Drop us your most hectic night out stories below and let us know. And guys, keep getting in touch. Obviously, we put the questions on the Rants Over Pod Instagram. Follow it if you haven't already. And also, me and Jessie normally put them on our own story. So follow me, Henry Swaney _ and Jessie. Jessie Perkins.
Jessie Perkins with 2 S's.
2 S's. Perkins. So yeah, do that. Anyways, best of threshold.
Are you trying to make like different?
Yeah.
What's it called? Jingles.
Bolly said he was going to do them, but he's been slacking because Bolly does not work hard enough for this podcast.
Just made
it's not like he does everything other than sit and chat shit.
He even gave us pink subtitles.
That's right. Yeah, that was cute.
It was so cute. I love it.
Bolly was just
like stop, guys.
Okay, so best of first hole. I've got quite a few today.
I'm glad you're not making the jingles.
Quite good. The only reason I got married was a bottle of vodka meant I was babbling incoherently, and the next day my girlfriend asked if I'd meant what I said last night. It felt embarrassing to admit how drunk I was, so I just went along with it. Best accidental decision of my life.
Oh, I'm glad it turned out well in the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine
he was like, and 10 years later, I hate her guts.
Talking of where it could go wrong, my boyfriend never wipes his... I don't know why on the fesshole it says this. My boyfriend never wipes his arsehole after having a shit and instead just washes himself in the shower at the end of the day. I can't call him out on it anymore after 5 years. I'm packing my bags to leave tonight for this reason alone.
At the end of the day?
So
I get it if it's like after every time he has a poo.
Yeah, but I tried that once because I heard that was quite like loads of people do that apparently. They just jump in the shower instead of using toilet roll.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
How do you do that in a public toilet? I don't
know. Well, no, in a public toilet,
what do you do?
Not.
Just put your bum in the sink?
I was like, oh, I'll just try it. Why would you do that? Obviously, you can imagine what happens whilst you're...
I don't like that at all.
Showering?
I don't like that at all. Henry's just surrounded by...
It's like just disgusting.
But at the end of the day, he must have like really bad skid marks.
Yeah, but I want to ask you a question. So I watch a podcast called James and Flav for Now, which is one of my favourite podcasts. Jaffin, shout out. I am what they call a slug. It's what they call their fans. Anyway, they have this bit which is, I can't do this anymore. So like when there's a moment, and it's a football podcast, so like, you know, like they'll be like, you'll be watching your team and you'll just be like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you if you've got any I can't do this anymore moments, or moments where you've just thought, I can't do this. This is have to pack it in. Whether that's been in a relationship, whether that's been with, you know, a friendship, whether that's been in any kind of situation in life. When have you thought, I can't do this anymore? I just can't.
So one of my ex-boyfriends, he always used to be like really, really cringy, but I just wasn't bothered.
Yeah.
And then it just got to one point where we were watching a film and he started like describing what was happening in a baby voice. And I just looked at him and was like, I just can't. This is going to make me be sick. I just can't cope with this anymore.
No, you can't. No,
That's what
what's
it
the
was
word?
like.
You just think to yourself, I can't do this anymore.
That's exactly what I
just can't do it. I can't.
So what's like yours, Henry?
I've been thinking, and I think there's been a couple. I mean, with watching Palace, there's been multiple moments where I've just thought, I cannot do this shit anymore. Like, why did my dad make me support Crystal Palace? Like, cheers, Will. Anyway, like, I feel like more generally, there's times where, like, so I remember at the start of uni, I was in a group chat with loads of people, like, just from the same accommodation. Just because that's what they'd done. They got on Facebook and found out, and then they kind of like, everyone would like do like big group FaceTimes, but they would do it every night. So I joined it a couple of times because, you know, like, I wanted to get to know some people. I didn't know anyone coming to the uni, so I was like, okay, like, I'll get to know some people. Loads of nice people in there, a couple of weirdos, but it just got a bit weird. Like, people would be like there was like flirt and stuff between like some people. Like, there'd be like 12 people and everyone would want to play like Minecraft or something. It was quite fun sometimes, but it kind of happened where, like, you know, I'm still friends with a couple of them, but like a lot of them
the rest
I'm not.
of you are weirdos.
But like literally, like I was sat on this FaceTime and they were just like these two people just like doing like you said, like baby voice, and I actually said out loud, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That just
makes me. It
really makes me cringe.
And I hung up and I left and I was like, I just can't do this anymore.
There's this guy on TikTok and he makes videos and he's like, oh, what does your hubba wubba want to do? And
he's from Brighton. He goes to Chalk. He goes to the same club as me.
I just can't.
What would you like to keep? Like,
it's disgusting.
Oh,
it just really makes me cringe.
It's the whole baby voice thing. It's just disgusting.
And it's like, what's that other thing? When it's like, oh, my baby, what does your boyfriend want? When people talk in the third person.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Henry wants to go here. Henry really wants to do this.
Henry wants to go and get bagels for lunch. If you seriously talk like that, you need
get a life.
Me and Georgia kind of do it like taking the mick. Like we'll genuinely do it just taking the piss. But like people that do that seriously,
Henry's
you
there
are
like, Georgia,
ill.
Can you give me a strokey, please?
Can I have back scratchies, please? Ugh, disgusting. I can't do this anymore.
I don't think you can do it anymore, can
Okay.
you?
Moving
on, swiftly.
Once in primary school, someone bet me £3 to be friends with the kid that no one talked to just for a week. I found out he was a great guy and had, you know, really similar personality to me. And he's just asked me to be his best man. He doesn't know that it was just a bet.
That's so cute.
That's really wholesome, though.
But I think even now, do you know those films where, like, the cool jock guy gets bet to pick the ugliest girl to take to prom or whatever, and then it goes to rubbish, and she like takes her glasses off and she's actually stunning.
Yeah,
this is like such a film
all she does
trope.
is take her glasses off.
That's it. Takes her hair down and
Oh
it's
my
like,
God,
whoa,
wow.
you were fit the whole time.
Where did this come from?
I did not expect that from like Jessica Alba or someone. I feel like it's like that, but he would be annoyed because it's worked out so well.
I think also if you were to say this in your best man speech, I think it would actually go down quite well.
Really
I don't think he'd be annoyed. Like
definitely,
because you know at the end of the day you're friends with him because you get on with him and you
imagine he just got up and stormed off. It was like, I don't like you anymore.
That would be what would
or
ruin the wedding.
Jokes on you. It was a bet to be friends with you as well.
This next one's really funny. I write thrillers for a living, which are reasonably successful. And in the next one, I've given a paedophile character the name of someone who gave me a crap review on Amazon. They probably won't find out, but if they do, let's see if they find that lazy and formulaic.
I love that. That's so
It's
petty.
amazing.
That's such a me thing to do.
But also for someone to like call like the storytelling like lazy and formulaic, as if every single song's the same. It's boring, boring, boring. I was really confused. We were listening to music on Spotify before, and it was like, I thought that it was going to be interrupting with the thing because I keep pausing it and then it says it's playing and then I'm realising that Bolu is listening to music on his AirPods And I'm like, why? Like, I've just been pausing his music.
He pausing his thing.
I'll be like, why does it keep playing? Like, why is it saying there's storms?
Were you confused why it was pausing?
Yeah, it was me. Oh, sorry,
I've done that before. I was connected to a speaker at my friend's house, and I went for a wee and I was playing music. And then I went for a wee and I was watching TikTok. And I'm thinking, why isn't this playing? And it was connected to the Bluetooth. And then my friend
turned it up,
me.
and then your friend's in the room like, I'm so loud.
Yeah, and then she texted me and was like, what are you doing? We can hear you watching TikTok. So I went, oh, I forgot I was connected to
Better
that.
than some things you could be watching.
Yeah. Like what, Henry?
I don't know. Listeners can use their imagination. I use daily contact lenses. I actually do sometimes. It's become a ritual to remove them once I brush my teeth and then eat them. I don't know why I started, but the thing is, I just don't think I can ever stop. What the?
Surely that's really bad.
That's just weird. It's
Now
been
they're
sat
going to have
in
like
your...
a ball of contact lenses
It's
in
been
their
sat in
stomach.
your eyeball all
What
day.
are contact lenses made out of?
They're just like thin layer of like, I guess like plastic. Kind
That's
of,
not good.
I can't
Imagine
believe
when
it.
it comes out.
But it's the fact that it's like, I don't know what, I just did it one day and now I just can't stop.
That's like intrusive thoughts winning.
That is,
isn't it?
oh, my intrusive
That's
thoughts
like-
win so much.
That's just like, I'm going to do it.
My
And then
yeah.
you've just carried on.
When I was when I went, the weather was really nice on Sunday. We went for a picnic with Georgia, and like we just sat there, and like I just pushed her over.
I really
And it
want to
was
do
so
that.
funny.
Do you
It
know
was just
what
the
my
intrusive
worst
thoughts
one
one.
is?
And it was quite funny. We just started shoving each other, and then we had a water fight, and it was so funny. But like, it was just the intrusive thoughts. I was just like, it would be so funny if I just pushed her over right now.
I have two that are recurring. Sometimes I'm having conversations with people, and I've done it once, and the person got so mad. I think it was Ben, actually. It was ages ago. We were talking, and I'm just thinking, this is so boring. And then I said it out loud. I was like, I'm so bored. And we were just having a conversation. He just looked at me and then just didn't speak to me for like an hour. And also, when I'm driving, I always want to just see what will happen if I drive into the central reservation. So if I die in a car accident, my thoughts have won. Like the middle metal bit.
Yeah.
Like, would I die? Because I'm convinced I wouldn't.
You would.
I'm too young to die.
I'm gonna say you would die.
I might not.
You would die.
I could survive.
I mean, it depends on what speed you were going. But if you just drove
Well, on the
into-
motorway, so pretty fast.
well, yeah,
Probably not.
You'd be dead.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, the intrusive thoughts are quite funny though sometimes.
They are. I always think stuff. I know that you say things that you think straight away. I've heard you.
Yeah.
Henry will literally just say to people, "Shut up! I don't care."
Yeah, I actually do.
To be fair, I'm like that as well.
But to be honest, I think when I do that, I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like everyone else is thinking, oh, shut up.
My friends always tell me
So I
that
just say
I ask people stuff that no one else would ask them.
Good skill for a journalist, Jessie.
But not in a good way. Like they're too scared to ask it then. Like someone said that someone got with someone else, so I just went up to them and was like, "Oh no!" Someone said that someone had cheated on their girlfriend. I was like, "Did you cheat on your girlfriend?" And they were fuming, but I wanted to know, and everyone was whispering about it. So I just thought, get on with it and ask the person.
I yawned the other day, and Georgia just went. In my
I do
mouth.
that all the time.
I was like, what? And she was trying the intrusive thoughts one.
I do that to my dog.
Your dog?
Yeah, he always gets so offended, bless him. But my mum and dad started doing it to each other, and now no one can yawn. Don't yawn.
Oh,
No one can yawn.
Jesus, I actually properly yawned.
That was synchronised.
That was pretty impressive. Okay, this is the last one of Fessel. My 12-year-old son just called his 9-year-old sister a shitty fuck child, and I've learnt a valuable lesson in how difficult it is to tell a child off without laughing. Those are some of my favourite videos. When it's like the mums or like just trying not to crease when they're telling their child off.
There's a story really similar to this that my sister, when she was younger, she was like really young. She was like 3. Was arguing with my dad, and she called him an idiot, and my dad was like, "Don't call me an idiot, blah blah blah, don't do that, blah, like go to your room, whatever." And she walks towards the door, and my dad was just sat on the sofa. Goes out the door, pops her head round and goes, "Well, you are an idiot," and just walks off. And my dad just started absolutely creasing.
Yeah, but kids are so funny.
And he just sat there and was like, "What do I do now? Because I can't tell her off." It's hilarious.
Exactly. That's why I think, like, I think that's why I think when I have kids, I think I'll bring them up to like know that swearing isn't okay, but like, sometimes it can be funny. Like it's not always, oh my god, you can never swear.
I just got to a certain age and it was fine.
Like everyone swears every now and then. So I think, but when a kid, there's something, especially when it's like, you shitty fuck child.
It's when it's
that
in the
is
right
such a bizarre
context.
Combination of words.
And it's when it's in the right context as well. And it's like, how was your day today? And they're like, oh, shitty. And you just think a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old just wouldn't
or like if
do
they
that.
say, like they come home from nursery, they're like, oh, I was actually going to use an example name, and I went to say Callum, but let's not. But like, oh, Callum's a toss pot.
Yeah.
Why?
And you just think, where does
Where
that
have
even
you
come
heard
from?
that? And it's like,
But
obviously they've heard it from
kids
you.
like proper model stuff on their parents. When I was younger, we were watching a football game or something, and my dad said to my mum, if they score, I'll show you my arse. Like, just like when they say, I'll eat my hat and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So, and then they scored, and he like pulled his pants down and smacked his bum as a joke. And I was little, and I went to nursery and did the same thing. And then my next door neighbour, we were really good friends with their family, and she was in the same thing at nursery. And her mum and dad went for dinner with my mum and dad, and she was going, oh, so-and-so's gone to nursery, and she's like pulled her pants down and started smacking her bum, and we don't know where it's come from, and it's really bad, and we're just making sure that the same thing hasn't happened to Jess. And obviously someone started it, and my dad sat there just like, oh my God, it's me. It's me. I've done this to the children.
That is amazing.
But yeah, so watch what you're doing in front of your kids, because they model your behaviour.
Have you seen that video of that little kid laughing at his dad's northern accent?
Yeah.
That is so funny. He's like,
that cat on road.
Cat on road, and the kids are like cracking up. I love it.
Oh.
Kids are so funny though. But yeah, I mean that's kind of everything that we've got in the script for today's episode. We've got 40 minutes out of it, so it's a good little chunk.
I don't know where the time goes.
Oh, we just have such a laugh. We have such fun. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's pretty much the end of today's episode. We're not actually. I need to have a look. Obviously,
yeah, we need to sort our lives out.
I need to actually. We'll do. I promise we'll do a conspiracy space next week, because we haven't done one in like 3 weeks.
We need to sort out how we're actually going to do the podcast, Henry.
Oh yeah, balls! I forgot about this.
Because it's summer next week.
It is
until October.
Yeah, that's
we'll
quite
figure it out.
We'll figure something
Genius Bolly will figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure some sort of plan
It's
out.
like, stop
Stop
don't
it,
call me a
guys.
genius. Say it again.
Say it again. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching
Tell us
/
your
listening.
cool stories as well.
Just tell us anything. Just message
Tell us your
whatever it is.
confessions.
Confessions. We do want to start doing like bad confessions. Like,
but actually write on my anonymous box, because I'm still butthurt about it.
Is there still nothing on there?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, you probably haven't posted the link, so I'll blame you.
All right then.
Anyways, the morals that we've learned from today's episode, I'm going to go first. I've learned that you can't laugh when you tell a kid off, no matter how hard it is. I've also learned that you shouldn't try and break up a fight in Thailand, because you'll get a chair thrown at your head. And I've also learned that you should never trust someone whose card declines when they're trying to buy a £40 round.
I've learned that you should not do things that you don't want your kids to repeat. I've also learned that nightclubs should not put candle holders on tables, which I find is really, really, really strange. And also that people are possible to hold their sick in for 25 minutes.
There you go. See, what have you learned? Let us know what you've learned. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, all of the above. And we love you.
Love you.
We'll speak to you later. But for now,
the
rant's over. See you later.
Bye.